These instructions pertain specifically to the Bako Requisition Revised 9/22/2017. Earlier versions of the Bako Requisition may not include all sections represented in this video. It is imperative that any testing facility receive all the information required to properly test and diagnose each patient sample. The requisition is a tool designed to help you provide all essential information required to test the patient's sample and submit a valid insurance claim. The requisition also helps avoid us having to call or fax your office to request missing information or request testing. Let's start with the date collected or date of service. This information is required by all insurance providers. Without it, all claims fail. We need the first and last name on the requisition because the orders will also appear on the requisition. If we do not have the first and last name on the form that contains the orders are not valid. The date of birth is very important. It helps ensure we have the correct patient when there is historical medical information in our system. If an attachment containing the date of birth will not accompany the specimen, then please write in the date of birth in the space provided on the requisition. The billing information does not have to be on the requisition. The best practice is to provide a copy of the insurance card along with a government-issued ID such as a driver's license. But if the insurance card and license are not available, please write as much insurance information as possible and include the patient's current address. Clinical information and ICD-10 codes. In order to provide the best possible diagnosis, a clear clinical picture needs to be communicated to the pathologist. Since the pathologists do not have the opportunity to see and interact with the patient, they are entirely reliant on the clinical information to provide clinical context. Please record the primary reason for the procedure performed to obtain the specimen submitted to Bako. It is absolutely essential to also provide the ICD-10 codes associated with the procedure. The insurance companies require the correct ICD-10 codes before they approve a claim. Marking the requisition. We provide boxes next to all fields in the areas containing specimen information and orders. Please mark the boxes clearly so that no interpretation needs to be applied. If an error is made, please strike through the mistake, initial the mistake, and mark the correct box. The specimen area is broken into two identical sections, allowing you to submit specimens in a variety of ways. Generally, if only 1 to 2 specimens are submitted, then please use the specimen number 1 side and the specimen number 2 sides to indicate, first, specimen number 1. Select right side or left side. Select the appropriate procedure such as biopsy, excision, or any other procedure, tissue type, and testing. Repeat the same process for specimen number 2, if applicable. Orders for multiple specimens of different types, such as skin and nail from the same limb, left or right, can be placed under the corresponding side of the requisition. For example, on the side labeled right, there could be a biopsy of skin, a nail, and an aspiration submitted. All the orders for these specimens could be indicated on the side of the requisition checked off as right. Procedures. Biopsy. Please select biopsy when either a punch is taken, a needle is used to core out a sample, or any form of biopsy tool is utilized to obtain a representative sample. Excision. Excision is selected when a lesion is surgically removed. The usual pattern of the excision is in the shape of an ellipse. Aspiration. Select this procedure when a fluid is removed, usually by means of a syringe. Aspiration, crystal analysis. Select this procedure when a fluid is removed by any means, but is suspected to contain crystals indicating gout. Skin. When submitting skin, select the condition or observation that best matches what is being observed or suspected clinically. It is important that if skin is removed, only select the condition under the skin title. If a nail specimen is placed in a bag for submission to Bako, but the condition of pigmented lesion is selected under the title skin, we may have to call your office to ensure we have the correct sample. If you cannot find a good match from the list of conditions provided, please indicate other and write in the rule out or observation. Soft tissue. Please select a box in this section of the requisition when a tissue is being submitted that is not bone, nail, or skin. If the clinical impression requires a rule out of neoplasia, please select the box corresponding with tumor. If the clinical impression requires a rule out of an inflammatory process, then please select the box corresponding to inflammatory. If the tissue being submitted consists of bone, please select either arthritis or lytic destructive. Arthritis indicates HAV, hammer toe, DJD, exostosis. Lytic destructive indicates osteomyelitis, neoplasm. Other, please indicate any relevant clinical information. Nail specimen. Specimens consisting of nail must have an order before any testing can be performed. If the concern for the patient is fungus, the following options are available for detection. Histology stains. Highest sensitivity consists of PAS, GMS, and FM. Higher sensitivity consists of PAS and GMS. Routine sensitivity consists of PAS alone. If the concern for the patient is fungus and speciation is desired to aid in treatment, then the following options are available. Important: PCR and microbiology testing can only be performed on nails that have not been fixed or preserved in any way. Important: if both histology and PCR testing are required, it is best practice to submit a single specimen bag for each site. PCR, 3-day turnaround time, can be run on nails only. Fungal culture, 2 to 4 week turnaround time, can be run on skin or nails. Rule out neoplasia. Pigmented streaked lesions rule out melanoma. Non-pigmented lesion, verruca, rule out carcinoma. Bacteriology. Aerobic culture indicates gram stain. 48-hour turnaround time. Surface wounds, non-sterile sites, superficial tissue, or nail, fresh. E-swabs and starplex swabs, fresh. Aerobic anaerobic culture indicates gram stain. 48-hour turnaround time. Deep tissue, bone, aspirates, sterile sites, fresh. E-swabs, gel pack swab, Carrie Blair, sterile container with sterile saline. Fungal culture, 2 to 4 week turnaround time, nail, tissue, bone, wound, fresh. Nails in dry bag, tissue, bone, aspirate in sterile container with sterile saline or dry e-swab. AFB culture, 32 to 56 day turnaround time, sterile tissue, bone, aspirate, fresh. E-swab, gel pack swab, Carrie Blair, sterile container with sterile saline. Specimen labeling. The Bako requisition provides 3 labels. You are not required to use the Bako label, but we strongly encourage its use. The Bako label provides one form of ID by providing a 2D barcode that ties the label to the requisition. This feature can prove invaluable in situations where a discrepancy is suspected or detected. The label reminds you to place the name of the patient on the label. Please also write the site of the specimen placed in the container. Please be specific. Please add the date of birth of the patient to further ensure the identification of the patient. Finally, to make all the above valid, the requesting physician must sign the requisition.